So here's a few more questions to ask using this automatic writing technique of working with the theories inside Napoleon Hill's book, Outwitting the Devil. And as I said before, after the release of Think and Grow Rich, his biggest hit, Napoleon Hill began writing Outwitting the Devil as an explanation of why some were still seeing failure even after following all the steps in Think and Grow Rich. For him, the trick was in not being willing or able to face what was the true underlying purpose of challenges that seemed insurmountable. Now, although you can ask your higher self, the universe, God, whatever higher benevolent source you use for answers to these kinds of questions, sometimes the shadow self lets you see perspectives that maybe your ego wouldn't let you see before, or that wouldn't as easily come to you through higher sources. Just make sure your intention in this conversation is your empowerment and that of those you serve, that is for the highest good of all concerned. It's great to use this method when you can't seem to get a clear answer to an important question using other means. That's happening usually because ego or limiting perspectives or false expectations are stopping you. It takes courage, but it's better than staying unnecessarily stuck because you refuse to see and learn. Once you get past the ego limitations, the truth will set you free in a way that is often rewarding beyond your wildest dreams. So some people had requested some other examples of questions. So when you're writing, you can put your name, colon, and then something like, what is your ultimate goal for me regarding this challenge? What is the soul growth, learning, or activation I meant to be experiencing? Because sometimes something challenging happens, and then when you look back on it in retrospect, you think, oh, I wouldn't have moved if that hadn't happened, or I wouldn't have left that relationship, or I wouldn't have left that job and created an opportunity for this whole other thing. Like sometimes things that seem challenging in the moment lead to good things in the future. So sometimes you can get a sneak peek of that by talking to this shadow self. Other questions, you could just write question colon as well. How can I finally learn to transform fear and scarcity for myself? Because that's often something many people tell me they're trying to rise above, and it's not always so easy. We live in a very fear-based density, and yet if you want to get on that golden age timeline, part of your job here is to be in this dense frequency and maintain some of the higher frequency emotions like peace and joy and love and contentment. Another question is, why does this issue still persist even though I've been doing what you suggest? So sometimes you get an answer, you go, okay, I take action on that. You have to take action, by the way, on this information you get, and yet it still doesn't shift. So maybe you've got to do it deeper. You have to be more persistent. You have to use more of the senses or something like that so you can get more information on it. And then another question is, what is the bigger picture here that I'm not aware of? So that's sometimes a context or a 30,000 foot view that when all is said and done, you'll kind of see why it was so important for you to go through this. And this could be a multiple lifetime thing, or you're helping heal ancestral lineages. It could be something very complex at the spiritual soul level. And a final question is, what are you trying to remind me of by presenting me with this problem to solve? Especially if it's a problem you keep having to solve. So sometimes, what are you reminding me of? Because sometimes our souls are pretty slow to learn, right? Some of these life lessons we've been trying to learn for many lifetimes, and if you keep coming up against the same issues over and over again, it's just that this is a tough one for you. You know, sometimes in school you're good at math and science, but you're bad at writing, or something like that, right? So there's certain issues in life that we're a little slow on, right? So just what do you need to remind me about? How do I need to really finally learn this is another great question to ask. As you continue to explore the depths of your being like this, and you find the courage to face your shadow self with love and curiosity, you can often not only heal weaknesses, but also reveal great inner gifts you didn't know were there. So, thank you for joining me today on this journey of self-discovery. Let me know in the comments if you tried this technique and how it worked out. Or maybe you already have a practice like this that's helpful. Do share it. And do check out the book, Outwitting the Devil, if you haven't already done so. I left a link in the show notes to the book on Amazon. And if you'd like to explore this concept in the form of a sci-fi novel, you can also check out the award-winning novel Heliotropus on Amazon. The link is also in the show notes. And I'd love your assistance to help this channel grow. If you'd like to donate to the Golden Age timeline, maybe buy me a coffee, there's also a donations link in the show notes. It helps us grow and provide content like this to people. Remember, you are the creator of your reality on your spiritual awakening journey, and all those slings and arrows of our lives are there as gifts if we're willing to drop our resistance and look at it all in new ways. And once you learn how to do that, it gives you the power to shape your destiny and to serve your highest good in more empowering ways than you ever thought possible. So until next time, keep shining your light and embracing this deep inner wisdom. Bye for now.